What is happening, pile one? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, we're doing another pick a card reading. This time we're channeling through what's the next blessing showing up for you. All right, so just keep in mind, you guys, it's a general collective reading. Whatever resonates, take it, run with it, claim it. Definitely claim it, because we're talking about blessings, right? If something isn't quite resonating, just drop that bit of information or that message and leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating with. I have personal readings available. You know the deal. If you want me to tap exclusively into your energy, just check the description box below for booking details. Somebody remind me to put like a general, just a general reading, because I don't have one up right now in terms of like one for you to purchase, but yeah, anyway, let's go right into your reading, pile one. You guys were drawn to the clear quartz point. Let's see, what overall energies do we have in terms of your next blessing? What do we have here? All right. Let's see, we have full moon in Leo, but it's showing up in the reverse. So in the upright position, it says, don't let pride. I'm hearing don't let pride and ego get in your way. Ooh, let me see what's going on here. Oh, we got Libra with justice. This says diplomat, focused, indecisive, polished, harmonious, balanced, fair, and charming. We have the wheel showing up in the reverse. Upright, it says fate, destiny, a turning point. Oh my gosh. Let me look at what higher power has to say. I'm gonna say right off the jump, pile one, this is a blessing. Okay, it is very much a blessing, but it's not gonna feel like it. Okay, it's not so much a blessing in disguise. It is a blessing, but you're gonna be going through it. Because right away when I see full moon in Leo where it says don't let pride get in your way, and that's showing up in the reverse, right away I'm hearing ego death. Okay, and those are not easy. Oh my gosh. What is higher power? Let's see, it's the number 4, but it's showing up in the yeah. So you guys, and you might already be going through, you know, this situation right now. You could be feeling the effects of it mostly maybe in your relationships, because relationships are our most clearest mirror. Okay, I mean, talk about 4K high definition. You know, that's where, and so you guys might be going through some kind of a breakup, a separation. I'm hearing a trial separation, and whatever the case may be, if things feel unbalanced in your energy right now, but that is that's part of the journey. Let me see again. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the number 4 generally stands for like stability. The fact that it's showing up in the reverse here feels more like things are not stable, but that's part of it because the foundation has been built on a very unstable ground. Okay, and that's pretty much what an ego death does. It gets down to the foundation, it gets down to the root, and starts to dig all of that stuff up. And so whatever you might be experiencing in your life right now that feels very challenging, especially if it's bringing up a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of disappointment, that is because something has been built on a faulty foundation, and this is what you're going through right now, is the uprooting of that. And right now it doesn't feel like a blessing, but it actually is. Okay, let's see, higher power showing up in the reverse. It says, now is the time to examine what you are giving energy and attention to in the back of your mind. If you're obsessing about being right, about old resentments or failed expectations, about money, or about any other people, places, or things, these will be the source from which you create. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the blessing. I don't know if you may have been off track. You may not know this, right? But you may have been off track. You may not have been on your highest timeline. And the reason why that might be is because, you know, you've been manifesting from a space of having a very unstable, faulty kind of a foundation. And the easiest way for me to put this in ways where you might be able to understand, say if you've suffer from a really bad abandonment wound. I mean, right away I heard narcissist, okay? Oh man, yeah, this is, you guys, don't shoot the messenger. I'm pretty sure you're going to know where this is coming from too, but even even an experience with a narcissist, that can just be the personification of your own inner voice, right? Again, because the 3D world is a perfect 100% mirror reflection of your own internal dialogue. And a lot of the times those things can be subconscious, but you're still manifesting from that space, right? And so the only way that we are able to truly get down to the root cause of what's going on is when those things, when what's subconscious, the only way to fix something that's subconscious is for it to come up into your conscious awareness. And the only way that that really happens by way of actual experience, okay? And so even if you know, this might be a little bit more on the specific side, but if you've had some kind of an experience with, say, like a narcissist, think of that person as just being the mouthpiece for your own inner dialogue. And up until this point, I mean, and this happens to a lot of people, consciously you might think you have a really good grip on who you are, and you know, you may think that you have a real high self-esteem and stuff like that, but the conscious world and the subconscious world are two different things. And the reason why you might be manifesting certain dynamics in relationships, whether it's romantic or, you know, familial or friendships, or even, you know, even relationships at work with like God, there's a lot of stuff coming through. Co-workers is what I wanted to say, but there's something coming through about co-parenting, okay? And I forgot where I was getting to go with that. Anyway, yeah, and so those relationships act as mirrors, okay? And those dynamics happen in those relationships for a reason, so that you're able to see what's going on beneath the surface that you're not detecting, okay? And so, okay, that's what we were talking about. You might be wondering why, like, you know, you might be saying to yourself, like, I love myself. I know what I bring to the table. I know I'm this and that. I know, you know, I'm a catch. I know, and then, but you still, you know, continue to manifest certain dynamics and connections where people maybe withhold a lot from you, maybe gaslight you, stuff like that. And the blessing here is that that's all, the reason why that was happening was because deep down inside, below the detection of your conscious mind, subconsciously, you held this inner narrative that's probably been in place since you were little, okay, of, you know, not feeling good enough, not feeling like you deserve certain things or things of that nature. And so the blessing here is all of that stuff is being pushed to the forefront, so that you actually experience those things. And because the way that you're able to clear that energy out of your field is by way of actually facing those demons, feeling those feelings that have been trapped and circulating in, you know, your field, albeit, you know, subconsciously, so that you can clear that out, so that the dynamics that you've been experiencing within relationships and with other people is able to be the experience that you're actually wanting to have, okay? Because you've been on a loop, especially with the wheel in the reverse. And that's the blessing, is everything that's happening right now is stopping that pattern. Because you've been on a certain trajectory that wasn't your highest timeline. And so let's see, what else does higher power in reverse want to say? It says, if you're obsessing about being right about old resentments or failed expectations about money or about any other people, places, or things, these will be the source from which you create. But you want spirit to be your source. Take heart, for your higher power will never desert you and is always waiting for you to remember the sacred partnership you share. Turn away from other sources of power that don't serve your highest good. There is no greater source than spirit. You can always surrender your troubles and trust that they will be taken care of. You are in good hands. Yeah, and you are in good hands. Even the most toughest of experiences are happening. I know this is so cliche, and please don't think that I'm like just dismissing your experience. I'm not, okay? But it is happening for a reason. The blessing of the experience is the fact that it is, you know, that experience is there so that you know what's been running in the background that's been basically hijacking your highest timeline from you. Highest power in the reverse. What's the advice here? Hold on. There is something coming through with don't let pride and ego get in your way. The fact that that is showing up in the reverse, it's almost like, nah, it's time. You know, ego in and of itself isn't bad, okay? It's when it's been hijacked by wounding, hijacked by faulty narratives and stuff like that. Now it's almost like, no, it's okay now to go ahead and let ego and pride not get in the way, but I don't know if you've been somebody, not that it's a bad thing obviously to take the higher ground, but there's a healthy sense of an ego here, right? Putting yourself first. Yeah, it's like you're learning to put yourself and your needs first, but to be self-fulfilled and self-possessed and self-centered, meaning like self-grounded, not needing anyone else to ground or center you. You're able to do that on your own. And so there is a time when being self-centered is actually a good thing. But when that space of being self-centered is coming from a God space and not wounding, that's where it's at, right? And so that's what the blessing is here. Yeah, you might be going through a really difficult time, especially when it comes to relationships. For some of you, this is just highlighting relationships in general. There's an overall feeling of maybe people not understanding or realizing your worth. Like, you know your worth consciously, right? But you have had maybe a problem with other people not acknowledging your worth. They might know what your worth is, but they're not acknowledging it, like feeling dismissed or feeling like you're always being passed over. For some of you, it's like you're always feeling passed over for promotions, you're always feeling passed over for commitments, you know, whatever the case may be. And what's happening now is a balancing out, right? But the only way for that to happen is through actual experience, because it's pushing those feelings that have been operating, because that's what we manifest 24/7 is what we're feeling by default, right? And a lot of the times 95% of what we're feeling by default is just below the detection of our conscious awareness. And so yes, it's difficult, I get it, you know. The experience of being passed over or rejected or dismissed is a very painful, disappointing experience to have. And once you really allow yourself to sit in those feelings, and if you don't know how to do that, I have another channel. It's called Pure Godfidence. Just check the description box, you guys. It teaches you how to clear out all of those, whatever might be triggered from some of these more difficult experiences, because you can use these experiences as, you know, for your advantage. That's really what they're there for anyway. A lot of us, you know, up until we get to a certain point, we don't understand that it actually is a blessing, because it's showing you, it's giving you feedback of the programming that's running behind, you know, running behind the scenes, that's been manifesting your current experience for good and or bad. Yeah, so there's a couple of videos that are linked in the description box below. The first one to watch, I believe, oh my gosh, I haven't done this for a minute. What's the first one? How to stop manifesting separation between you and your SP, which stands for specific person, but you can plug in whatever experience you want. You know, how to stop manifesting separation between you and your dream job, or you and your highest timeline, whatever the case may be. The second video to watch is the process by which to do that, which is called Releasing the Wants. All right, you guys, that was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, do me a favor. Smash that like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. If you haven't become part of the family, you can do that simply by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile one, I'll see you guys at your next pick a card reading. Bye. What is going on, pile 2? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle. We're doing another pick a card reading. This time we are channeling through what your next blessing is. Okay, so tap in, friends. Just keep in mind it's a general collective reading, so whatever resonates, take it, run with it. If something isn't quite resonating, just drop that bit of information or that message and leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating with. I have personal readings available if you want me to tap exclusively into your energy, right? Just check the description box below. All the booking details are there. Somebody please remind me to add as a personal reading an option for just an overall general, right? Where you can choose whatever your topic is, you know, if you want something like this, because I don't have one yet. So, right, it'd be like $25. But anyway, let's get right into your reading, pile 2. You guys were drawn to the Smoky Quartz point. There might be something about protection, something about filtering out negativity. Let's see, what is pile 2's next blessing? We have Imagine showing up in the reverse. Oh, we have 2 of these cards. Okay. We got, let's see, Surrender to the Divine, which is the full moon. And then right underneath that, we have the new moon in Taurus. Ooh, prosperity lies ahead. Man, that's some, oh, and then we have the new moon. We got the new moon and the full moon together. That is wild. And then we also have secrets. Secrets. Let's see, let's move this over here. All right, here we go. See, new moon says the seeding, plant what you desire, limitless possibilities, symbolic portal to manifestation, receive guidance, good for clarifying intentions, new beginnings, make a wish, healing, characterized by the Fool in the tarot. And then we have secrets, which says moving in silence, hidden factors, lack of communication, not having all the facts. I'm hearing like your blessing is you being on the right track. Like you're on the path to your highest timeline right motherfucking now. Let's see what Imagine in the reverse says. What is that, number 20? All right, in the reverse, Imagine says, illusions and wishful thinking rooted in a sense of lack have entered your life. Now may be the time to see things as they truly are and not as you hoped or imagined they would be. Release any fear, then envision the new. Perhaps you are anticipating that something fearful might happen and recreating that image of disaster over and over in your mind. The universe responds to such projections, so be aware of this catastrophizing. No matter what, illusions and awfulizing are a misuse of imagination. Clear the inner slate and stay grounded, stay real. Only then can you truly have what you desire. There's definitely a call to faith here. Definitely a call to faith, especially with Surrender to the Divine. Give me a minute. I'm hearing cocoon phase. You might be isolating. There might be some confusion that you're feeling as well. I'm seeing your energy at first starting out really expanded, and then it contracts and contracts and constricts and constricts, right? And the reason why that is because, this is so weird. It's like a supernova or something. Oh my gosh. Whatever it is you're going through right now, pile 2, yes, it's like a refinement of your energy. But in order for you to reach whatever depths or lengths or the next phase or the next timeline that you're trying to get to, like this, that's why they're saying this is what you're going through right now is actually a blessing. And yeah, you might be feeling like your energy has, you know, went from very expansive to now very constricting. Number one, because you're being guided on how to have enormous just amounts of faith and surrendering to the divine. Learning how to trust what might be happening in the background, unseen elements, things that you're not able to see. It's all part of the plan. You set an intention for something, and what you're going through now, oh, it's like the seed being planted in the earth. Yeah, there's a breaking open that's happening with you right now, because, and that's exactly what happened. That's what happens with an actual seed that you plant into the ground. It has to break before what's inside of it can start to really develop and take root. And so what you intended, or the intention that you set, requires that you become a whole different person. And that's not a bad thing, right? It's requiring a lot. So it's like there's almost a death that's happening in your energy, but it's like you don't understand the rebirth that's getting ready to happen. And so however expansive that you might have felt prior to whatever it is you're going through now, okay, picking up on heavy hermit energy, that expansive that expansion that you were feeling prior to where you're at now, which feels very constrictive, that expansion is nothing compared to what you're getting ready to experience. But this is part of it. And I don't know, it's so weird because I'm seeing like a star, right? Right before, like, it starts to die down and die down and die down, and then it explodes, and then it turns into like this supernova. And yeah, it's massive. And so with prosperity lies ahead, it's just like, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's a double-edged sword. I mean, we have surrendered to the divine, which talks about having faith in no matter what's happening. And at the same time, it's like keeping hope and faith that beyond what you're feeling right now, there's this great expansion that's going to happen as a result of you completely surrendering and just letting the death happen. Just surrendering to it. There feels like there's death. And this could be translating into, like, you know, maybe a death of a current career path, or a death to a current, you know, long-term relationship that you might have been in. You know, there could be a lot of relationships falling away. You may even be going through an ego death, not knowing, like, you know, what now? Where do I go now? Where do I channel my energy now? And it's like, no, surrender to that. Let that death happen. Let those deaths happen. Because here pretty soon, you're going to get ready to be catapulted onto whatever that highest timeline is that you've set an intention for. But in order for that to happen again, there had to be a death to the current you, the AKA the old man, in order to, it's like quantum jumping. So you might be calculating in your head. I don't know if you're thinking about like timing, like, you know, I'm a certain age and how long is it going to take for me to build this and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, you're not understanding. You know, we manifest who we are, and we manifest, you know, what we're thinking and feeling 24/7 on autopilot. And so manifestation can be instant. You can just be walking around one day and all of a sudden get like $1 billion idea, right? And so that's something else to understand and realize. You know, once this explosion of expansion happens, it's going to be a quantum leap onto that highest timeline, and things are just going to start happening for you just overnight. And it's like the growth is going to be exponential. When I mean growth, I mean like material, 3D, physical, like you can measure that growth, right? Not just growth within, right? Not just growth energetically, but like growth to bank accounts, growth to relationships, whatever growth you can think of materialistically. It's like that shit's going to happen exponentially. And so it's like, you know, yes, surrender to the divine. Try not to think so much about the hows, right? And because it's gonna be like miracles on the daily, but for you it's not gonna be miracles, because you're gonna know, like, I'm creating this shit. Right? It's yeah. And so for those of you that are kind of like in a cocoon phase, you might be feeling like that little seed that's been planted, deep down into the soil, and you're like, it's wet here and it's kind of uncomfortable, and you feel like your energy is constricting and contracting and constricting even more. That's because that's what happens to the seed. That shell has to break open and die so that the inside of it can finally, take root and grow. It's fucking beautiful. All right, you guys, that was your reading. Oh my gosh, I hope that it resonated. If it did, make sure that you're taking a moment, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below, let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. If you haven't already become part of the family, you can do so simply by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile 2, I'll see you guys at your next pick a card reading. Bye. What's happening, pile 3? Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? My name is Michelle. We are doing another pick a card reading. We are tapping in and channeling through the next blessing that is headed your way. All right. So just keep in mind, it's a general collective reading. If something resonates, awesome, take it, run with it, claim it. Definitely claim it if it's a blessing, right? If something isn't quite hitting or not landing, just drop that bit of information or that message and leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating with. I do have personal readings available if you want me to tap exclusively into your energy. All the booking details can be found in the description box below. Check it out, see which ones call to you. All right, a lot of readings are just $25, so very affordable. All right, pile 3, you guys were drawn to the blue lace agate. Let's see what's going on with your next blessing. We have new moon in Aries, but it's showing up in the reverse. It's time to take action. So I don't know if you've been kind of going in a certain direction, but it's like, and it's not saying that not to act right now, but it's like, now's not the right time, right? So you might be feeling held back. You might be feeling like you're trying to go in a certain direction and you're kind of like, not yet, that kind of energy. Let's see what else we got. We got round and round. Oh, okay. Yeah, is there some lessons that you're needing to learn that you haven't quite learned yet? You could be in the middle of another cycle. We got happy, but it's showing up in the reverse. We'll see what that has to say. Third quarter moon here. Says the release, out with the old and bad. It also says discerning, cleansing, forgiveness, good for letting go, reflection, take responsibility, clean emotional and physical clutter. Oh, okay, clean emotional and physical clutter. Tie up loose ends, tarot. It's characterized by the tarot card, judgment. Ooh, oh, okay. Something about a decision that you made that isn't... You've made some... Okay, you made some kind of a decision or set some kind of an intention, and it may not have been coming from the right space. It may not be in alignment with what your highest timeline is. And the reason why you might not know that is because I don't know if you guys have heard of like the old man versus like, or I talk about it in terms of like making decisions from a space of wounding versus making decisions from a space of like pure confidence, right? And honestly, it's not the decision or the desire itself that's the problem. It's the why. Why are you wanting it, right? And when we're making decisions and choosing things from the space of the old man or the space of wounding, the reason why we might want something is to like fill a void or to soothe something within us. Say if, maybe we want validation or we want to be seen because we feel invisible and stuff like that. And so the blessing here is whatever that decision is that you made, it's almost like I don't want to say that you're not being allowed to go. This is what it is. I don't think it's the decision, and I don't think it's the desire that's the problem, pile 3. It's why you're wanting it. Because from here, what it looks like is you made that decision in order to fill some kind of a void, in order to soothe some kind of a wound. And if that's the case, if you were going to get what it is that you want, it would actually turn around to bite you. Okay? Big time. And so the blessing here is the fact that you're kind of being held back from getting what you want because of that reason. And so let me see what happy in the reverse has to say. Now, I want to make this clear. It's not that you're being denied your desire itself. Okay? Once you're able to align that desire with the God part of you, in other words, like when you're able to completely fill that void, once you're able to become completely self-fulfilled, self-possessed, self-grounded, self-centered, but in a good way, right? Because a lot of the times when we have desires, say like if you're desiring a specific person or you're desiring marriage, the desire for marriage or a specific person in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's why you want it. And a lot of the times people are wanting a specific person, or they're wanting marriage, or they're wanting fame, and they're wanting wealth for validation purposes, or to fill a void because they feel empty inside. And so disaster can come from I know this personally because I've experienced it firsthand. I got what I thought I wanted, and it was so destructive in the end because the reasons why I wanted it they were just off. Okay. And so the blessing here is that you're not being told no, you're being told not yet, because you're just going to end up replaying some kind of a cycle. Okay. That could look like, especially if it has anything, doesn't matter what it is, but for some reason relationships are being highlighted here. Say if you got out of one bad relationship, terrible, toxic relationship, and you're like, I just want to get married. I want, a blah, blah, blah. But you're going to continue to manifest the same dynamic, but with a different person, because the core issue, the root, is not being addressed. As long as you want somebody or something in order to fill a void, and I'll give a specific example. Let's say if you're wanting a romantic relationship, or you're wanting to get married because, right now you might not be feeling alive inside, right? Or you might not be feeling worthy or good enough and stuff like that. That's the space that you're manifesting from. You're not going to be able to manifest, the kind of dynamic that you want when the space that you're manifesting from is, I don't feel good enough. You're just going to continue to manifest dynamics, relationships with people that leave you feeling not good enough. And so that's the blessing. So I don't know if you have set an intention, you made a choice, like I'm going to get married this year, or, I'm going to, whatever the case may be. It's like, for many of you, you haven't even met anybody. It's like you're being held up from being able to even get started in that direction, because there is a part of you that knows better, right? You want to be treated right. You want to be chosen. You want to be acknowledged, and this and that and the other. But you're not, the thing is you're creating from, your own inner space, your own inner dialogue. And as long as you are full of, I'm not good enough, I feel dead inside, I don't feel alive, things like that, you're just going to continue to manifest the same thing over and over and over again. And so, look at happy in the reverse, what that says. It's the number 26 might be significant. Where's happy? There we go. Double check, yeah. Happy in the reverse. It says, lighten up, because this is the time to be ridiculous and silly. See the world through the eyes of a clown, and don't take yourself or any situation right now too seriously. Have fun, be playful, and make laughter the order of the day. You'll be surprised by how everything just seems to fall into place when humor leads the way. Being happy and lighthearted is a wonderful icebreaker. Life is meant for play as well as work, for laughter as well as tears, for celebration as well as focus. Spirit wants to sparkle through you today. Smile and enjoy each breath in each moment. Miracles lie in the silly things today. Miracles lie in the silly things today. Yeah, so I mean, that's basically the advice, is to lighten up, right? That might be because, and I can pick up on the frustration that you might be feeling, because again, there's nothing wrong with what you're wanting, okay? Not at all. And so the thing is here is, if you're trying, not trying, but if you're basing your happiness on external circumstances or having a relationship, if what you're not understanding is that's just going to cause you to continue to repeat old cycles, lessons not being learned and stuff like that. And so with happy in the reverse, it's like, yeah, you may not be experiencing your ideal timeline at this point in time, but maybe take this silence, if that's what it feels like, or the stillness, so that you're learning how to fill your own cup with how to be happy yourself, right? And then you can take that abundance of happiness and that joy, you fill up your own container with your own energy, and out of the abundance, you're able to, share that with other people. And that's when you're able to really call in exactly what it is that you're looking for. It's because you're not, the motivation for wanting marriage or wanting a relationship or wanting, a really high-end paying job or whatever the case may be, is coming from a space of you're already abundant, and you're just wanting that experience to add to the abundance and the happiness that you're already feeling, right? You're not wanting that person or that experience to supply it for you. That's coming from a space of lack, right? You want that experience to add to the abundance that you're already experiencing. I hope that makes sense. So the blessing right now is the fact that you're being held back from receiving what it is you think you want, because in the long run, especially in the energy that you're in now, it's just going to prove to be another cycle, okay, that you're not really wanting to have. Round and Round says, not applying lessons learned, unhealthy patterns on repeat, and able to let go of the past and repeating an old story. That's why this is a blessing, so that you don't have to repeat another story, so that you don't have to go down another dead-end road and waste years of your life, only to realize that that's all that it really was. It was a karmic lesson. That's the blessing, is you're being held back so that you're not having to, learn another lesson the hard way. All right, pile 3. That was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If this resonated, do me a favor. Smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you haven't already done so, simply by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile 3, I will see you guys at your next pick a card reading. Bye.